Haya, wakanesa get ready. Haya. Takaye tuongeresha kwa niaba ya Wakamba community in Washington Pacific Northwest, anapotuwekea muziki ya Kwata Kawaya. Tunafanya hivi ama tunafanya hivi? Haya, tunamuita kiongozi wao ni Bishop, ni kasisi kwenye hili jimbo, Pastor Alex. Haya, ngoja. Lazima utoke hapo na dansi ya Kikamba, mtu wangu. Twende kazi. Washira, twende kazi. Haya. We.
Hi, cousins. Hi, cousins.
Hi, Kazo.
My name's Bishop Alex Mutua wa
Kamonze. I'm Bishop Alex Mutua wa Waidera. Tunaongeza yani my wife is a duke. Bishop Alex Mutua wa Waidera. And I'm proud to be here. On behalf of our community, Your Excellency and Mama Dorcas, we are proud to have you here. Because we are proud when we see you working with Kalonzo. I will respect him so much. And you have assured me he is Nakondani. And this time I take your words that Nakondani Kapisa. This is what I want to say. I don't want us to speak much because much has been spoken here. There is power in unity. Our slogan as a community is Cha Kimwe in our Cha Kimwe. And I want to request all of us as a community
that people's deputy president is not a Kikuyu anymore. He is a national leader, and let us take him to that level. I came to Washington in 2018, and my coming here was not good, honorable. The community here came together without knowing me, and they stood with me. The organization which was mentioned here, Northwest, led by Wagura, they didn't know me, and they did not care whether I was a Kamba. They just heard there is somebody in the detention, and they stood with me. And from that moment, I started working with them. We work together as a community, and it's only in that platform of oneness as a community we are going to take this group to State House. I want to urge every one of us, and those who are listening us even back in Kenya, let us not be deceived. I love the spirit of Gen Zs. I saw the trading of every Gen Z as a Kikuyu name. Reason because they want to sell the tribal line to us. Let us refuse that spirit, and let us. They gave him a name. They wanted us to see him as a Kikuyu leader. We saw the other day when he was in Nyanza, being received as a leader. He went to our home in Ukambani. He was received and echoed. Even here, we receive you and we honor you. And let us not accept that spirit of tribal line. Please, I also want us to trade. If you are not a Kikuyu, hakikisha umeweka jina ingine ya Kikuyu hapo, ili tumalize hii pepo ya ukabila nchi yetu katika jina la Yesu. May God bless you so much. Thank you.
Bishop amesema hakusema. Amesema hakusema. Na kwa wale ambao mnatashwishwi kazi ya Northwest ni nini, he is a testimony. Alikam akashikwa, kuwekwa ndani, hakujua mtu, na sisi na kimbelembele yetu ukamtoa ndani. Sio ni kimbelembele mzuri. Tafadhali, kama you're not a supporter of Northwest, na ameleta familia yote. Hiyo ni maajabu ya Mungu. We thank God. Before tumsikize mnenaji wa mwisho, nitamuuliza mwimbaji ambaye ana wimbo wa nationalism kuja na akimbie tafadhali. Ametoka all the way from Las Vegas, ana wimbo ambao atahakikisha umetunenea kama wa Kenya. Meanwhile, wewe ambaye unaongea kwa niaba ya hawa shemeji, make sure you are ready. Is the song ready? Meanwhile, anayesimama nyuma yangu kama my bodyguard is our chairman of Pacific Northwest, commonly and famously known as KRA wa Prestige, na na radio station yake. Ningeomba msubscribe mahala pale ili muweze kupata chemichemi ya uzima na mambo ambayo anawaletea. Haya, wimbo ndio huo unakuja, alafu tutamkaribisha mnenaji Judy Lasabacho. Ni Lasabacho, ni Lasabicho? Lasabicho. Haya, after the song. Attention. Go to me. 1, 2.
Hi, cousins. Hi, I'm Joan Wamboi Karuma from Las Vegas, and I have a presentation. And of course, I forgot to say, Your Excellency, sir, and our First Lady, I'm so humbled to be here, and this is such a great honor. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Ahadi yetu, undugu ndio nguvu, chuki na ukabila hatutaki hata kamwe. Lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu, pasiwe hata moja anayetenganisha. Naishi natumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wetu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Kenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Na mateso kwa vilio na huzuni, kunyakuliwa uhuru na mashujaa wa zamani, hawakustushwa na risasi wala kufungwa gerezani. Nia yao ukombozi, kuvunja pingu za ukorofi. Naishi natumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wetu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, Jeupe ya amani daima Kenya wananchi zetu. Wajibu wetu ni kuishi kwa upendo toka ziwa mpaka pwani, kaskazini na kusini. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni udhabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ya damu. Jaeni amani, nyeupe ya amani,
Apigwe makofi tena. Ino Kenya. We are just about to invite the Gideon Moi. And they know you can do that song when you're seated on your chairs, when it is a celebration. Are we together? Washira twende kazi. Thank you so much. May you have your seat. Kindly, Professor Toti, find your way here. We are going to honor our chairman from DMV chapter. Niye ataweza kumkaribisha Getungati namba 1. Meru wanamuita Kianagi ya Shiba. Wakikuyu wanamuita Jaba ya Ruriri. Wamasai wanamuita haya. Mliokaribishwa kwenye kikao hiki, atakayetuhutubia kumwalika kiongozi wa wananchi, Deputy President of the People, ni Professor Choti ambaye ametoka all the way from Maryland. Tumkaribishe kwa makofi. Tafadhali tuitie Getungati namba 1.
Asante sana Bwana MC. Kwa majina ninaitwa Professor Charles Toti. Toti, and I've come all the way from DMV. DMV stands for DC, Washington, which is a part of Maryland, Virginia, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and others around that. I come from the Far East. I represent the Kenyan people from the eastern part of this country. And they said, I arrived last night, and they sent me to come and confirm and represent them in this gathering, but most importantly, confirm the arrival of our powerful and influential leader, Bwana Rigathi. Yeah, my role here is very simple, is to introduce him and give him the opportunity to address. But before I do that, allow me to ask if there's any person here, any Kenyan here who has traveled from the DMV region, please. That region, I know we have one Jeff Nyanza who has been very keen in coordinating in so many things in this area, and he has been representing even to Nairobi. And the MC mentioned about my contribution. Yeah, my contribution went all the way to Nairobi a long time ago through Jeff and others who are not here. I have not seen Ikonya here from Boston. I don't know why. Yeah, we are very well coordinated, very well coordinated. I am a former chairman of UDA DMV chapter, which we quickly closed down. Now that they beached an innocent, hard-working, and most patriotic Kenyan deputy president. We close that. So I don't think the other chapters are existing. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. UDA, I think it was. They brought themselves to an end, summarily. And today, we are proud to be associated with this great son of Kenya, who today, I'm a historian by profession. I'm a professor of history. So I know what I'm talking about. He is the symbol of national unity in Kenya today. I come from the great county of Kisii. Hi, cousins. Hi, cousins. I was there last month. We had a funeral. I lost a very close family member. You are powerful in Kisii. Very powerful. And my people have great expectations and hope in you. Actually, since independence today, they are very, very expectant, very optimistic about the future of our country through you. And if you come across sons from that land, Kisii land, who are very close to you, back there, kindly work with them. And they're going to be good goes to Kisii, what the Mungu afanye, mambo yake. But we work with you, and we trust you because you are very truthful. He speaks truth. He stands for kweli. And I'm not sure they are aware. You are very, very powerful. And the Kenyans, we have set our expectations to a higher level. Yeah. And we will support you. Until Kenya goes to an election. We like your ideas. You have united Kenya. And I wish Kenyans can follow the example. I wonder if we have Kenyans in the diaspora, they are very united. Where I live, most of the people around me, actually 90% of the Kenyans in that part of the country are from Mount Kenya. All of us are from Mount Kenya. All of us are from This idea of some individuals weaponizing tribalism, we are buying against it. This idea of weaponizing tribalism must come to an end, and you should lead us to that. Tribalism will end completely. Yeah, I have two sons. And they are engaged in the mountain. What? I mean, that is the future of Kenya. That is the future of Kenya. We want to create a nation that embraces everyone, regardless of which corner of the country we are born from. And I think we have given you that responsibility because you able that national security, which has been missing in Kenya for a long time. Tribalism is an evil, and we must kill it together. We must kill it together. The way we have done in the diaspora, it can be done back in our mother. Thank you so much, and this is your opportunity, Honorable Deputy President.
Thank you. Please be seated. morning. Good afternoon. Good morning. I'm still trying to get my bearing around here. Hi, bros. Hi, bros. Hi, sis. Hi, cousins. Also, hi. Hi, Mashamedi. God is good. And all the time. Celebrating kwa Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Asanteni sana. Carry prestige. Chairperson of the organizing committee, your whole team, leadership present here, and all Kenyans present here. On my own behalf, on behalf of personal workers and my family, let me say how excited we are for the warm and colorful reception we received when we arrived yesterday. And care has been taken of us. I must say that we are overwhelmed by the love, the compassion, and the care you have extended towards us. We have never felt this love. I think I should have come here before. I have just understood what I have missed. In the midst of the onslaught against us, like a song. When we get this kind of love and appreciation, we are overwhelmed. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niseme asanteni sana kwa karibisho, kwa mapenzi na vile mmeshikilia kualika hapa. And also please in time this morning, this huge number of people to join us here, to fellowship together, to have a discussion. We are very happy and pleased, and I really look forward to my stay here in the US for many weeks. And I'm going to stay for 4 or 5 weeks. But the way I've been treated, I may be here for a I think by the time I leave, I'll even be more proud. So let me say, my good people home, it's a wonderful opportunity to see people, because we love you and we are very happy when we see you. We appreciate and understand that you are away from home as you try to look for opportunities to earn out a living for you and for your families. And we appreciate not all of us can be Kenya. We need to widen our territories and go out there and look for opportunities. And for this opportunity God has given you out here in the United States, we thank God for that opportunity. And we are happy to see you looking happy, looking healthy, looking good. We feel happy. I want to say that you've done a good job here in the US because you have been very good ambassadors of our country. Kenya is respected across the world because of the various ambassadors like yourselves. You have conducted yourselves here and you have been here. Please continue doing so. What brings me to the United States? I've come here to connect to our people because it's important. You know, Chinua Achebe, one of his books, said, when kids meet together for a meal, it is not because they have no food in their own homes. No, it is because it is healthy and appropriate for kinsmen to have a meal together as a church. Isn't it? He went ahead to say that when kinsmen meet in the homestead, one of them, and look at the moon as the church and run away. It is not because they cannot see the moon. from their homes. No, it's because it is good for kids to meet and chat. So I've come here to meet my fellow Kenyans, to talk, to understand one another, to get to know each other, to find out where you are, what you do, and to get a perspective of what you want us to do.
You know, in Kenya, I'm the champion of listening to the ground. I'm here to listen to the people. Because you will tell me the truth. Because you talk to the people back home every day. And you know exactly what they feel and what they want. So I'll be around for a while to engage Kenyans, to listen to them, and understand what Kenyans feel and what they want, and how they would like to be governed as we try to craft a new administration in the next general election. I would like to work with Kenyans. I would like to carry them along. I don't want to be a ruler. I want to be a leader of people. And when you lead people, you listen to them so that you carry them along with you. So, first and foremost, let me underscore the importance of the diaspora brigade. Kenyans who are out of the country in the diaspora are critical. In the 80s and the 70s, the leading foreign exchange earner, the one that used to earn us foreign exchange, was coffee, followed by tea. As we moved to the 90s, coffee and tea were overtaken by tourism. As we speak today, the biggest foreign exchange earner to our motherland is not coffee, it's not tea, it is not tourism, it is the remittances from the diaspora. You are the drivers of our economy. If you guys stopped remitting money, the country will just come to a standstill. We will not be able to pay our foreign debt. We will not have foreign exchange reserves, and the economy will grind to a halt. You are therefore a very important component of our governance structure, and any serious leader must seek serious partnership with the diaspora. And for those of us who keep some dairy animals back home, and when you come back home, please have some dairy cows. Those dairy cows, for them to produce milk, you must look after them. You don't just give them hay. You give them lucerne. You give them dairy milk. Nowadays, we get the mattresses to sleep on so that they don't feel cold. In addition, we get them blankets. People are getting even more sophisticated. We give them country music, Ken Rogers and Don Williams, so that they are happy to produce milk. So the diaspora brigade is like a dairy cow. They must be looked after for them to continue remitting money home. You know? So I know you are all smarting from betrayal. William Ruto was here and gave many promises to you people. So he did to us and to every Kenyan. Have comfort. You are not the only one feeling betrayed. Everybody has been betrayed. He said he'll put money in people's pockets. Instead of putting money in people's pocket, the little that they had, he dipped his fingers and took it away. He said he would create a working health system. He has crippled it and brought something called SHA that is riddled with corruption. He said you create a functioning university financing model. He killed the one that was there and brought something that cannot work. He said he will protect liberties and freedom of speech. We have the worst experience of violation of human rights since independence. Killing of young people, the Gen Zs. Brutalizing innocent Kenyans. Using the criminal justice system to settle political scores. Everybody feels betrayed. So you are not alone. So I just want to give you the comfort that don't cry too much that you are betrayed. Everybody has been betrayed. And the pain and the anguish of betrayal is in every homestead in Kenya. And everybody feels terrible. So I want to give you that comfort that all of us are in that situation. And we must move on. We can't keep on crying about betrayal. We have been betrayed, yes, so we must look for a solution. We must work day and night to craft a new governance structure that will honor the people of Kenya, that will respect their freedoms, that will make sure we have a functioning economy. There's no money circulation in Kenya. Pending bills have not been paid. All road projects have stalled, water projects have stalled. Nothing is going on. All that we have are some functions that are called economic empowerment of stolen money to bribe people and to make them keep quiet. So we got to fix that. So I came to engage the diaspora to say, there are many promises that were given and were not kept. I want us to have a new engagement. I know it's not easy for you to trust me and the other leaders because trust once broken, it's very difficult to work on it. But we are all in the same situation. We are all healing and learning how to trust once more. It's not easy because when people have betrayed you, you are very careful. You are not sure. So as I speak here, many of you are wondering, we have heard this before. This guy will just come here, give us all sorts of promises. If God is gracious and grant them government, we will not hear them again. They will betray us. I'm sure that is going through your mind. There's nothing I can do other than just telling you that we are different. And from my behavior and pronouncement, the people of Kenya know I'm a different kind of a person. And the Rigathi Gachagua that William Ruto got is not the one he wanted. He had a totally different idea of a deputy he wanted. He wanted a Mr. Yesa, a guy who would say yes to everything. He was quite happy for me to mobilize him the vote. But he had a big problem with somebody who is truthful. And I knew the marriage between me and Ruto will not last for long in the first 1 year because we are different. The guy is a pathological liar and I'm a truthful man. The two of us is like oil and water. We could not stay together. I'm even surprised it went for 2 years. This is a guy who will look at you straight and lie to you and he cannot even blink, knowing it is a lie. You know, I couldn't take it because I'm not brought up that way. I have been brought up well by my family, by my parents. I am a Christian. I value truth because it's essential. And you know, I started asking him. We promised this. Where you go to siasa? Say how so? Those we said we will create the Hapsalas Fund. You are giving them 500 shillings. What business can you start with 500? You go ahead, mama ya kutafuta kura. Say how? But we told people in broad daylight. We wachana na hiyo maneno watu watasahau. You know? I had a terrible time because we go to meetings, we launch a road, we come with the tractors, we come with the bulldozers, we launch the road. Before we reach Nairobi, the trucks are on the way. Because there was no budget, it was just a lie. You know, you are going to lie to people, knowing very well there is no budget to do that road. You just go and lie to the people. And along the way, I told him, boss, it's getting difficult for me because I'm accompanying you and I'm being roasted. And I have to continue defending your lies, and these lies cannot be defended. So we were all deceived. It was one huge deception. In fact, when the history of Kenya is written, somebody must write a book about deception. What I done, sometimes many people blame me, and I accept the blame, especially people from the mountain region, because I persuaded them to elect this man. They blame me, and I accept and I apologize. But I always defend myself, and I say, fine, I was deceived. This guy came with a Bible. I'm a Christian. If somebody comes with a Bible and says he is saved and you are Christian, ordinarily you listen to that person. And I say, much as I was deceived, if bishops, reverends, evangelists, anointed men and women of God walidanganywa, sasa mimi ni nani? Hata kama watu ya diaspora mmetembea mpaka Ulaya mnakaa na wazungu mmedanganywa, mimi ni nani? Sasa mtu ya Wamonyoto, if this guy can con watu wanakaa Amerika, mumechanuka mnakaa na wazungu, sasa mtu ya Wamonyoto ni nani? You know, those are the issues. So good people, good people, good people have come for us to rebuild trust. I want us to chart a new friendship based on honesty, integrity, and truth. Tukubaliane tu. What we can do, we say we can do. What we cannot do, we say we cannot. What we can try, we say we shall try, isn't it? Yeah, that is true. You know, like I was there when you were promised that the deputy ambassadors in our embassies and high commissions will be from the diaspora. I was there when that commitment was given. It was not honored. I tried to fight hard for the consulate in Los Angeles to go to one of you. It was not possible. I tried to fight for the deputy ambassador in Washington, D.C. to be one of you. It was not possible. I managed in London. We got a bishop there, was in diaspora to be the deputy high commissioner in London. That is a promise any genuine leader can keep because it has no cost implication. Absolutely none. About 5, 6, 7 consulates, it may be difficult because they require financial outlay. But placing diaspora people as a deputy head of mission in our embassies across Kenya is a commitment any honest leader can keep because it costs you nothing. And it's also good for the country because you are saying this is somebody who has lived in the US for 10, 15 years. If that person is at the embassy, that person appreciates what Kenyans are going through in the US. That person understands how the Americans wants to interact with Kenya. That person knows how we can get more business opportunities. That person understands how we can create more trade relationships with our host country because that person has been part and parcel of that country. Yeah. So I want to say those are things we are going to discuss. And I want to promise that all the things we agree that have no financial constraints, that just require goodwill and being truthful, will be done. I am aware of the need for more consular services across the United States. And that again is something any reasonable leader should be able to grant. We don't have to have physical consulates, but you can have a mobile service so that Kenyans can get consular services across their IDs, their birth certificates, their marriage certificates, this and that and the other. And where there are challenges, like you said, you are sorting out yesterday with the legal authorities, there are people who can help. I think in my stay here, we are going to engage and agree what we're going to do, how we're going to do it going forward. I want to say that we have many things we shall discuss and implement. But as I've told you, You are the dairy cow of the Kenyan economy. I have every intention to keep that cow happy. Even if it's getting country music to sing to it, it's going to happen. Because we need money to grow our economy. And the money is with you guys. We must get this money. But we're not going to get it by being liars, by mistreating people. It's by having a truthful engagement to see how these remittances can come and boost our local economy back at home. We had agreed on a housing fund. Initially, the president had convinced me that it was a good thing, and we thought we could have a diaspora bond. We build the houses together, only for me later to learn that it wasn't as intended. It was just a scheme to make money by selling cement, by selling steel, by selling mabati for doing biashara. And Kenyans have said no. It's not the work of government to build houses. You do roads, get us water, get us sewage, get us electricity. Kila mtu atajenga ile nyumba ambaye inapelekana na uzito wake. Kitaka karumu moja, anaendelea. Kitaka 1 bedroom, anaendelea. So these are conversations that we're going to have, but I'm very, very happy to tell you that I'm very clear in my mind that for our country to grow, a very serious and practical engagement with the diaspora people is absolutely necessary. And I want to enter into that arrangement. Back home, it's not very rosy, but there is hope for a better tomorrow. The English say the darkest hour is just before dawn. Our dawn is coming. I think this morning they have sworn in the IEBC. We'll have commissioners in place. And we're going to have by-elections. And that is our first test ya kupeana heshima na Kasongo. Tunataka tuheshimiane. Kenyans are very patient people. They have a serious, resilient spirit, and they are holding strong. I want to encourage you to hold strong too. You know from where you sit, the cost of living is very high. And if you want to know whether our economy is growing, just talk to the diaspora people. They are the best barometer. Forget about those economic service from Treasury. Oh, economic growth of 5.6%. Oh, inflation has gone down by 3 point. Forget about those things. If you want to know the way the economy is growing, talk to people in diaspora. They will tell you whether there is growth or no, because they do a lot of support for people back at home. They support their parents with shopping. Before 2022, they were doing shopping for 10,000. The same shopping today is 35,000. True or false? So you guys know when there is economic decline. You don't need anybody to tell you. You can tell. And you are feeling it when you are here because you support families back home. So the cost of living is unbearable. It's too high. Too much taxation because there's too much theft and too much diversion of public funds for selfish endeavors by the leadership. So these are things we're gonna do together. As we speak today, there is a lot of fear because of threats of killings. The president, it started with the minister for the minister for interior security. He gave orders, a character called Mukomen, that police should shoot people and kill them. As we speak, a barrio has just ended in Muranga of a young fellow called Boniface Monkey. He was selling masks in the streets of Nairobi. You saw that video. He was shot at point blank range. That police officer who shot him yesterday was charged with the murder. Mukomen is nowhere to help that officer. 3 days before, Kasongo himself said, no, don't kill them. Shoot in there. But if you are shot in the leg, you will die because of bleeding. He was simply saying the same thing, but in a simplified function. Because anybody who is shot is likely to die. That is the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He swore by the constitution to protect life and property. He is issuing orders for people to be shot. The day before yesterday, the chairman of the Foreign and Defense Committee, Nelson Koech, said that the president is wrong for saying shoot on the leg. He said shoot to kill. That guy, his committee oversees the Department of Defense. That committee oversees the National Intelligence Service and the Foreign Service. So you can see the president and the homeboys are all talking about killing. When they are not talking about killing, they are talking about sending people to prison. As we speak, 38 Gen Zs were taken to court yesterday in Kahawa courts and charged with terrorism. Terrorism. So what has happened is that for Ruto and the homeboys, the reality of one term has just sunk. They thought it was a joke, and they have gone berserk, and they have actually become reckless. Because when the president of a country tells police to shoot people, and he's the one who is supposed to protect people, is the highest level of recklessness. So that is a battle that I want to invite you to help us. We have no other recourse to save our country other than sending this guy home. Yeah? So, you guys, for the sake of our country, for the sake of our children, you must play a role. So I have come to the States to tell you, good people, you cannot be silent bystanders in the US. You must play a role in the liberation of our country, in whichever way. By talking to people back home, by pushing online, because I see you push a lot. You guys spend a lot of time on smartphone, and you are doing a good job. And the guys at home, because they listen to you. Because ordinarily, any peace slip holder, anybody who has an income, has influence over a minimum of 2 other people. Yeah? You guys have a lot of influence back at home. The people you send money for shopping, for medicine, for school fees, they listen to you. Please tell our people back home that we have a task ahead of us to restore the dignity of our country and our people. This guy must be one term. Tutasaidia. Tutasaidiana. Again, we need to move around the country where you can help within your means and you have some resources you can help. You are welcome, so that we keep it going. We have 2 years to go. It's not easy, but it's good. But let me confirm to you people, that propaganda by William Ruto and his cronies, that is Kikuyu nation that is against him, is a lie. It's a big lie. I have been to the coast. It's one time. I've been to Kisii. It's one time. I've been to Masai Land. I have been to Western. I stay in Nairobi. I live with the mountain. Ukambani. So, Northeastern, I want to tell you, the diaspora. So, let me tell you, it's a narrative he was trying to create, and I want to thank the people of Kenya. because there was a hashtag that night across the country saying, no, if there's a Kikuyu who is against you, then I am. It's a national thing. And it's across the country because everybody, irrespective of where they come from, is feeling the cost of living. All Kenyans, irrespective of the communities they come from, are against killing young children. All Kenyans are against burning property belonging to Kenyans. All Kenyans are unhappy with the destruction of the Kenyan economy. So, William Ruto, please don't blame the Kikuyu for your problems. They are not the cause of your problems. They never told you to kill children. They never told you to abduct the Gen Zs. They never told you to destroy the Kenyan economy. They never told you to overtax people. They never told you to be arrogant when speaking to them. You have caused your problems yourself. And I told him before I left, he was speaking with a lot of anger. Nikamuuliza hii hasira yote ni ya nini? Kenyans are more angry than you are. They are just quiet because you, when you are angry, because you are angry, you can kill children. You can arrest others and take them to court. You can slap them with high taxes. You can frame others with cases. Kenyans do not have the capacity to do any of those. Kenyans are angry, they are just quiet. But they'll express their anger on the ballot 2027. And that is the day you will appreciate how angry Kenyans are. Because you don't seem to know how angry they are. But they are just quiet because there's nothing else they can do. They just stay with anger. At the right time, they'll express their anger. So I want to say that great people, don't worry. Stay strong. Continue praying for your country and for the people back home. And most important, as you stay here, love one another. You know, there's a saying in my community that buffaloes don't move together in a herd because they love one another. They move together in a herd because of the danger of moving alone. If you watch the wild beast immigration in Amara, the wild beasts, they move in a huge herd. And when the lions attack them, they are able to attack them back. Along the way, one of the wild beasts gets hurt and slows down. And the other wild beasts are not able to wait for it. And it's left behind alone. And within a few minutes, it is grabbed by the lions and eaten. Never walk alone. There is strength. There is every benefit and safety of walking together. And more so when you're in a foreign country. You know, please, my people, stay together, love one another, be your brother's keeper. When one of you has a problem, come together and sort it together. Never walk alone. Never move alone. I want to give you that message of togetherness, of loving one another as Kenyans, always moving in the same direction and always minding the business of the other person. As I wind up, so that I can answer one or two questions, I want to assure you that we as leaders in the United Opposition are clear in our mind that we cannot allow ourselves to be divided because Kasongo will slip through and Kenya will be finished. None of us can afford the luxury of allowing him to come back. So we have agreed we'll stick together as a team. Na pale mwisho around December we'll produce one candidate to face Kasongo. And I have said, if we pick Kalonzo Musyoka, we'll support him to the end. Yeah. If we pick Fred Matiang'i, we'll support him to the end. If we pick Eugene Wamalwa, to the end. If we pick our sister Mother Karua, and if by God's grace they pick Manrik G, nitakibisa hii mtu kama baiskeli ya kuibiwa. Yeah? So, but all of us are selfless. Send me the greetings. I want to assure you we shall stick together to the end. Number two, you have heard William Ruto ranting that people want to overthrow him. There's nothing like that. Nobody wants to overthrow him. It's a lie. He wants to use that as an excuse to suppress people, to arrest leaders and jail people. Nobody is interested in removing him from office through unconstitutional means. He came through the ballot. He will live through the ballot. And we have said nobody wants to remove him. In fact, if anybody removed him, Kenyans will be very disappointed because they want an opportunity to humiliate him. They want to relish that moment of sending him home through the ballot. So let him not cry foul, crying wolf everywhere. Oh, watu wanataka kupindua serikali. There is nothing. People are waiting for the elections. The elections will be sorted out through the ballot. And I can tell you, even if they are together with Raila in the ballot, we'll beat him 70+1. Yeah? I've seen Raila castigating at the police, at the shoot to kill order. How can he? William Ruto is his partner. Why is he addressing him through the press? They are brothers. They just sit and talk and agree that this is wrong and they should stop it. So, Bwana Raila Odinga, please, people of Kenya are not stupid. This is your brother, you say, you work together. Go to his office, mkunywa chai mwambie wachana na hiyo maneno. Sasa unatuambia tufanye nini sisi? Why is he telling us? You know, so I can tell you, Raila Odinga brings nothing to the table. The Kambas who are behind him, they have left. The Kisis who are behind him, they have left. The Luyas have left. The Masais have left. The Luo nation is divided in the middle. Even if they are together, we'll beat them 70+1. Okay? If Raila decides to run, Ruto will be number 4 in the election. So there's no problem. Either way, we are okay. Yeah? It's one term. So don't be worried at all. The people of Kenya have made decisions. Those decisions are finalized and nothing will change. And we have said, even if you kill people, even if you jail them, 70% of Kenyans don't want you back. In the unfortunate event you kill so many, the maximum probably you can kill is 5%. Still 65% will vote you out. So there is no escape route, none whatsoever. I want to thank all of you who have joined our party, the DCP, the Democracy for Citizens Party. This is a party, today as we speak, is the most popular party in the country. It's a new kid on the block. And we want to ask you to support the various chapters here. And we shall have free and fair nominations. I have seen many candidates here. You are welcome, but you have to come to the ground. You cannot get the seat when you are here. Yeah, so mkuje nyumbani. Msukume ground kutoka nyumbani. Hamjachelewa sana, but this is the time. At least by December, make sure you are home. So that usukume will have free and fair nominations within the party. And we are saying, let the people decide. Yeah? And things should be okay. And there should be no problem at all. So we are here, good people, to say thank you very much. And we'll work together. You are our partners and very serious partners. And the administration that we are going to form, you'll be serious partners. Really, I'm not joking. Very practical. And we have now started this engagement along the way. Tutakuwa pamoja, tutatembea pamoja mpaka mwisho. mpaka mwisho tutatembea pamoja. So nyinyi mupendane. I have told my brother here from Mukambani, my cousin, Kalonzo will go with us all the way. Ako sawa. Ako sawa. The guys from Kisii, Matiang'i will go with us all the way. The guy from Lembe Nation, Natembea, Wamalo, and Cleo Malala will go together all the way. And no other people. And then, on top of that, we have all the payslip holders are with us. There are about 3.5 million in Kenya. And every payslip holder has a minimum influence of 2 more. So that is already 10.5 million. Wako tayari tu wanauliza siku ni gani. Juu ya hayo tuko na Gen Z. Na hao watoto wataka kujua. They are lethal, those young boys and girls. This thing is done. It's only that it is too far away. That is the only kitu inafanya tukae na wasiwasi kidogo. But it's good and it is done and it will be done and done properly. So we'll continue. The people from California, from everywhere else, you guys want to visit everywhere leo. Sasa nikija next time kwani nitaenda wapi? Twende pole pole. I visit 5 states, I come another time, another 5, like that, pole pole. Hapa mtaki niendelee kukuja. Yeah, so, and by the way, I am also taking time to rest kidogo and wind as we engage. And already since we came yesterday, I feel very good. I feel very rested. And we'll walk this journey together so that now we can have a few questions. I can be able to answer you because it's important for me to listen to you and to answer your question. If you have any query, I can answer. And then we can move from there. Yes, Kuzo.
Yes, my question is back in Kenya. We have a lot of killings that have happened. We have seen a lot of human rights violation in our country. My big question is, for those families who have lost their children, for those families who did not even, some of them did not participate in the demonstrations. We have seen organized criminals with Subarus. They claim they are not police officers, but we know who drives Subarus. I want to ask this question. When it comes to such a thing, what is there any group that is going to prosecute this matter? I mean, in ICC?
Yes.
Because we don't have anyone in Kenya who can help us on this.
Thank you.
We see the president praising the police. We see the minister praising the police. Even when they have shot little children like msichana mdogo aliwawa, there is nobody in government condemning such killings. They are all praising the police for what they have done. My question is, who is fighting for these families?
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a very good question. Let me confirm that the killings that are taking place in Kenya are all crimes under the Rome Statutes and are admissible before the International Criminal Court. I want to confirm that we have put up a team that is documenting all the atrocities, all the killings, all the displacements, all the disappearances, all the abductions. And we have a team that is putting evidence together to take William Ruto to the ICC at The Hague. And you know the case against him for the 2007 post-election violence was not concluded. It was put on hold when witnesses disappeared. So his file is still open. In addition, we have formed a committee under Justin Muturi, the former Attorney General, the Committee on Restorative Justice, that again is looking at issues that when we form government, we will look into the compensation of Gen Zs who have been abducted and killed and other families that have faced atrocities under this administration. So Musijali, and we are working on it. Again, we have a team of lawyers that are giving pro bono services to the Gen Zs. Senior Counsel Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, the women rep for Kirinyaga and Jerry Minor, Ndegwa Jiro, and other lawyers have put a big team together that is giving legal services to our young people. Like the young ones who are taken before the terrorism court, they almost said yes because they don't know what is happening. But our lawyers were just there on time. Had they pleaded guilty to the charges, they have been jailed for 40 years because they don't know. So we'll also be appealing to the diaspora chapter also to chip in terms of hash bills. There were some 4 young men in Nyahururu, in Olkalau, who were given a cash bill of 10 million each because they were charged with terrorism. So this is a task we have to work together. I can tell you there are men and women, our lawyers who are not sleeping, fighting for these young people in courts. Again, as I've told you, we are collecting evidence under the Rome Statute to be able to take these people to the International Criminal Court. I had the president asking me to go and report whoever is involved to the police. How do I report him to the police and he's a what? And he's using the police to defend the people who are destroying property. So we cannot report him to the police. I've told him we'll report him to the ICC. So that is going on. And on the issue of the Subarus, is a killer gang of 101 officers under the National Intelligence Service. They have been trained in abductions, killings, and cover-up. That is a group William Ruto is using with the Director of National Intelligence, that is Nudin Haj, to kill our young people. Again, all that is being documented, and in the fullness of time, they'll have to face justice. Next question.
Yeah, Your Excellency, my name is Bishop Michuki. I'm a visiting bishop to this country. And Your Excellency is our Moses in our country, whereby some people fear even to talk. And I would just ask this question on behalf of the nation of Kenya and the church in general. I'm an advocate of faith and a defender of faith. And we've been fighting this thing, LGBT, because our country has dynamics. Our culture will not accept this one. And Your Excellency, we saw it that the president has signed supporting the LGBTQ in our country. Your Excellency, this is very sad. You as a moral support of the families, we are so much grieving and so much worried how these cases are going to get our nation, Kenya. Your Excellency, the president is saying he's building a church, 1.2 billion, whereby supporting LGBTQ. We wonder what is it reaching. Your Excellency, can you light this one to the people in the community here to understand what the position is our nation about LGBT? And I'm not scared to say that because we are against this thing in our country because it's against our culture. Praise the Lord. It's against our culture. So, Your Excellency, you as a moral supporter of families, and your wife, Excellency Dorcas, who have been fighting along with us about this immorality in our country. What is your stand? Can you please put it clear to these people?
Thank you, Bishop. Let me confirm that Kenya, our motherland, our nation, is a nation of morals and values. And we really respect our morals and our traditions. And what William Ruto is doing it as a person in support of LGBTQ. and other immoral practices is against what the people of Kenya stand for. Kenyans are people who value traditions, our culture, and our way of life. William Ruto will support anything for money. And that is the problem. And all these things, the solution is just one. What is the solution? Yeah, so we all reclaim our morals and our values as a country and the dignity of the Kenyan people. And a new administration, as it were, would not permit anything of supporting immorality or practices that anti our traditions and our culture. Essentially, there is nothing wrong in putting up a church. But how do you put up a church for God, yet you don't obey the 10 Commandments? One of the most important one is thou shalt not kill. So how do you kill children and then you say you are putting up a house for God? It's not possible. The whole thing again is deception. You know what has happened is that the church, supported his candidature. He has lost the support of the church. So he thought if he says he's putting up a church in State House, our Christians, our pastors, our reverends will go back to him. It cannot happen. It will not happen. It will not happen. So I want to confirm that we'll make sure that we support our values and our value system. I saw the other day the personal assistant, the president, one called Farouk, parading one of our women leaders in a public function and parading her sexuality and asking people to get into a debate on issues surrounding her sexuality. Don't blame Farouk. I blame that leader. How do you subject yourself to that kind of humiliation? And she was just there smiling and giggling. Did you see? And I want to say, that thing is not just about humiliating women. It was humiliating the community of Mount Kenya. That's true. Just Farouk showing how cheap we are, how useless we are, that he can parade Kenyan leader, a woman, in front of people and suggestively make some claims. And then the woman leader is just there giggling and laughing. It's very demeaning, not just to women, but also to our community. And these are the leaders I want you to help me back home. We must get rid of. Yeah? Mutanisaidia? Yeah? These are the togeges that we found leading us. They say wanasema nina wadharau, but that kind of behavior. How did you feel yourself? It's so humiliating. It's so humiliating to us. That is how demeaning Ruto and Farouk are to our people. Ati anazungushwa naambiwa tutano. Can you imagine? So thank you. Next.
Your Excellency, hello.
Haya, sawa. Mhm.
Someone give me the mic.
Thank you very much. And ni kama hata sauti imeenda chini kidogo. Okay, thank you, His Excellency. I am privileged to be part of the Wamonyoro Defense Force, where I find over 8 million young men and women whom you have advocated for so much. That is the only area, the only place that they are able to bring out what is in them. As we were having this conversation this morning, I have seen them write a lot of messages, and they are like, please, as His Excellency, have his tour of America for young men and women who are serving in the army. They are out here with us. And they told me to ask you to take note that all the speakers who talked this morning, they didn't have a young man or a woman whom you so much advocate about, the Gen Zs and the millennials. Please take note of that. And my second point is, please, you are so loved. I cannot say enough of the same. When I look at our young men and women, I get re-energized all the time because they represent the Kenya of tomorrow. They represent what Kenya is about. I may not be able to say one term. I may just say it, but I know those young men and women who have been to the streets, those young men and women who are not getting proper education, they may not be able to say it out there. But we know we can be able to say it through you by giving you the support that you need. His Excellency, allow me to make this other point, and because you have said it very clear, let everyone know His Excellency, the People's Deputy President, have no preferred candidate. I have heard him say, hawa watu wetu, the online army, wanasikia, wajue he has no preferred candidate. He has told us clearly that he is part of a team. Conversation
going to the stores, what are you finding? West African products. Where are our Kenyan products? Clothing or agree. So let's just
Sisi watatu, huyu alikuwa wa kwanza, wa pili na watatu, tuweza kujibu hayo maswali ya hawa watatu in one set.
Your Excellency, my name is Brian, and I think my question was alongside the cars, and mine is just one question. What is your view on our education that currently we are being offered in Kenya? The reason why I'm saying this is because most of us people, I can tell you're here to see problems because you don't know the kind of people you're dealing with. The kind of people you're dealing with is the people who are us. We started learning during the Kibaki time. The exercise, simple things as exercise books were offered free of charge at the primary level school. That doesn't happen today. Simple things as textbooks were offered. So we are the people who, when we were getting educated, the education was free and everything was easy access. Now, I don't understand how now life is so difficult for us to maneuver, yet we've been raised in a way that things are easy. So what I'm asking from you, Your Excellency, is what is your view or what is your plan ahead of the kind of education that you have? Because it is only education that will help us to have an independent society. Thank you.
Pues,
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. And hello, welcome aboard to see you again. My name is Justin Chiguna. I run a nonprofit here in Seattle, and I just wanted to bring a few things to our attention. You said the diaspora has a lot of influence, and I think one thing we've forgotten is the Gen Zs here in America. We're undergoing crisis that's being overlooked. I'm glad that you came to Washington State because I have some statistics to share with you here. 49.1% of our Kenyan youth are in jail here in Seattle. And I know you're going to be going to other states. I know you're going to be going to California, Texas. I don't know their statistics, but I'm going to share you some more that we have here. 60% of our youth here in Seattle are struggling with mental health. 23% struggling with crime. 50% are struggling with substance abuse. There's an ongoing crisis here in America, let alone here in Seattle. We think that things in the diaspora are very smooth because there's money, it's green, it's good. But there's a lot of pressure. We came to a foreign land. You know, our parents brought us here, which we thank our parents for bringing us here. But this place is a jungle and it's very difficult for us. We want to know what plan do you have for the Gen Zs here in America because we feel forgotten.
There's no way almost 50% of young people here in Seattle are in jail. Because I think focus has been on the young women and young men back home, but there hasn't been a focus here. I'm so glad that you shared what you shared. We do need new solutions. This is the next generation that's coming up. It's almost like we have a large population of young people back home who are unemployed. I think the age of the internet is over. I think the age of even social media is over. We have an AI revolution coming in. And that's why I'm saying we need new solutions. We need new investments in these areas, Your Excellency. And so we want to know what your plan is. You know, we see what's happening with the killings, the abducting. I think young people are passionate about their country. We're looking for opportunity, but we also need a position to outspeak our voice. We feel like we're only talking online, and the other generation is not hearing us. I think this is a generational battle, and we need your help, Your Excellency. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Sandy,
Stand
one.
up, sir.
Thank you.
Before he say his question, he was one of the Gen Z who was supposed to talk, and he had a testimony about 7 years ago, what you did for him. So he will just say that in a very simple way, and then you ask your question, and he will be the last one. After the Excellency answers the question, that's okay. After His Excellency answers all those questions,
Then we'll have one mama, just one mama, and then we do some ceremony there because of time. Thank you.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. I want just to remind you that for 7 years, you remembered my father and we met and you helped me to come here in the United States. And I'm forever grateful. And thank you, Mama Boys Pia, for kutuma ujumbe and also the letter. So I'm deeply grateful for that and I'll be forever grateful. My question is, I actually support the two Gen Zs, what they have spoken, and it's actually very true. But here's the question. In the streets of Kenya, we have seen death of our youth. We have witnessed a birth of a new kind of youth. For us who are in diaspora, we are watching in our hearts and we have purpose in our hands. So this is our question. How can we include our voice, our votes, and our vision for a new Kenya in the global conversation? Just another testimony. I have been able to represent Kenya in the human rights in Asia and also in Europe, and we are not much represented in the global arena. And I think it's about time for us to speak out and to start bringing justice, because our young people are struggling, and we have to be organized. And we're asking you, Your Excellency, to be able to support us so that such kind of ideas which have been birthed here can be able to be seen in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. I answer those ones, then the last one. Let me answer the ones that have been asked, then you have the last one. Thank you very much, our Gen Zs. You guys are the present and the future of our country. And your stake in our country is higher than all of us, because you have much more longer to live. That is why the Gen Zs in Kenya have caused a revolution. They are there. And I can tell you, nobody will get anywhere without them. Yeah. In our party, DCP, the position of deputy party leader, strategy, has been reserved for the Gen Zs. And in fact, it has not been filled because they are yet to agree on who will present them. The Deputy Secretary General Strategy, Mabule Owino, is a 24-year-old girl. The leader of our youth in DCP, Jerry, is in remand right now facing treason charges because of being close to us. She is suffering not because she has committed any crime. Kimani Ichung'wa stage managed the attack of police station in Kikuyu and blamed those young people from Kiambu. There are 35 of them. Jerry is among them. We have our 5 senior positions. They have all been reserved for the Gen Zs because I believe they are the future of this country. But there is no way we're going to craft a strategy for the future without the involvement of the stakeholders. So the Gen Zs will be part and parcel of the decision-making process. And I have had a meeting with my National Executive Council, and we have agreed in areas where we are strong, where we are going to sweep all the seats, the nominated positions. Say, for example, in Nairobi, we have like 35 nominated MCAs. I believe about 30 of them will come to the party. Half of them, 15, will be given to the Gen Zs so that they are part of the legislative process to make good laws for this country, because they affect them more than anybody else, because they will live longer than all of us. In the formation of our government, the Gen Zs and the millennials will play a critical role as they have the necessary qualifications to occupy these positions. So you see a government that is bled with people with experience and knowledge, backed by youthful people, so that we have a blend of experience and knowledge, because the agencies have a very great exposure. And with the technological evolution, they are the people you need around you. Even ourselves now at our age, for us to succeed as leaders, you'll be foolish if you don't surround yourself with the Gen Zs and the millennials. These are the people who will give you the ideas and energize you to be able to succeed as a leader. You have talked about supporting business. It's true. I tried to fight when I was in government. I did not succeed. To make sure that we have an avalanche of trade attaches in every mission, be able to create business opportunities, be able to help our people with the registration processes, with getting the necessary documentation. I agree, it's a shame. I traveled to Europe many times, Germany, Brussels, where despite us having the best coffee and tea in the world, it was nowhere in the shelves, because we have not put in the necessary infrastructure in our missions in terms of enhancing our capacity to market our Kenyan products and to support Kenyan businessmen and women to be able to do business abroad. So that is an undertaking that I want to give, that we shall definitely upgrade, re-energize our trade departments in the missions abroad to be able to create an opportunity for Kenyan businessmen and women to do business, and again to have our Kenyan products, undoubtedly the best in the world, in shelves across the world. Brian talks about education. It's true. The CBC is in total confusion. There has been attempts to review it, but stakeholder participation has not been very monumental, so that the stakeholders, the parents, the teachers, the educationists, the students, the people themselves can give a contribution on how they would want this system of the CBC to be. That is something that we also intend to go into, so that we make sure there is enough public participation and all stakeholders have given an opportunity to make a contribution in our education system. Mwai Kibaki gave us free education. William Ruto has ruined it. Education now is for those who are able. Mwai Kibaki, when he came in 2002, he gave free education to everybody, and that is how many people, including many of you who are in this hall, were able to go through school. Again, Uhuru Kenyatta came with an intervention of trying to help people with examination fees. Again, that has been scrapped. Again, help that many of us, I included, are beneficiaries of the High Education Loans Board, has been messed up, and Ruto has come up with something that nobody can understand. And in the process, most young people are at home. Education for a country is key, and we intend to give it first priority in terms of reforms with stakeholder participation, to make sure that we have a financing model to help children, fortunate members of society, are able to enjoy a university education. Again, even secondary school education and primary education. So that is a commitment that I can give, that we cannot just sit and let the education system be messed up, because we'll be destroying the future of our country and a whole generation. Just as I talked about the challenges that face our youth, not just here in America, but in our country as well. Pastor Dorcas and I did a lot of work in terms of fighting the drug menace, drugs and substance abuse. And we had succeeded in 2 years to make sure that our young people who are sleeping in trenches were back home and have started even getting families. Since we left office, illicit alcohol is back in the streets. Drugs are everywhere. We're having a big challenge with our young population. So just as the way you have explained that we have challenges of young people here in jail, others having challenges with drug abuse, it is a problem not just here, but also in the country as well. And this is a program that requires very serious intervention from government. And that is why we are saying we need to strengthen our consular services in our missions abroad to be able to have those interventions. Again, we'll have to call upon our religious organizations, our churches, that the battle on drugs, alcoholism cannot be won by government alone. It's a partnership between government and society. A lot of counseling is required. A lot of young people get into drugs because there's nobody they can talk to. They are lost. Parents are so busy working, clocking man hours to make ends meet, that they have found no time to engage their children. So these are programs that will work together between the government, our embassies, our religious organizations, the various groups that you have, so that we look for a solution together. It's a big problem that nobody can wish away. The challenges that our young people, because of peer pressure and the challenges of life, and it's manifesting itself to drug abuse, to unwarranted alcoholism. It's something that we have to work all of us together. It's a society challenge, and it cannot be left to government alone. It's something all of us have to sit down and see what we can do about it. The agencies must have a voice. And I'm telling you back home, the agencies are not waiting for anybody to give them the voice. Just the way I've heard that young guy there spoke and said, why are the agencies not speaking? That is the way. And after you ask, 3 of them are spoken. The agencies, you must fight for your space. And nobody will come for you at home to take your place at the decision-making table. Niwe ufike mapema kwa meza na kuketi na kusema umefika na uko na kalamu na karatasi. Don't wait to be invited by anybody to any forum. You hear there is a forum like this one, unafika kabla wazee kufika. And to be present and available and take your space. And don't allow anybody to push you around. If you ask Kasongo today, his worst nightmare ni Gen Z. Wamesukuma hiyo jamaa mpaka nywele imeisha kwa kichwa.
Bado.
But that is na bado.
Na bado.
Bado. So we ask the agencies now to register wachukue ID na kura. And I've told the Gen Z now, since this guy has pronounced himself, people should be shot and killed. I think we need to preserve our young people to be available to vote him out. We don't want them dead, isn't it? So mimi nauliza watoto wetu, tafadhali, let's be careful now. This guy has gone berserk. His ministers have gone berserk. We don't want him to kill you because you need to enjoy the future after his exit. And you cannot enjoy when you are dead.
Absolutely.
He has said you'll be shot in the leg. We don't want you to be disabled. So I'm asking the agencies, your argument has been heard. You have said enough. The next stage, the next battle with Kasongo is on the ballot. And the agencies must lead the way in terms of registering as voters and in terms of creating awareness. And they also help us in protecting the vote by broadcasting the polling station results to all platforms and adding up the figures quickly. Nyinyi mnajua hii presidential vote, hata kabla IEBC watangaze, mtakuwa umetuambia mshindi ameshinda na kura ngapi na Kasongo amefukuzwa na ngapi. Sindio? So the agency, your voice is coming. And if you pronounce yourself properly the next 2 years, and play a big role in the formation of the next government. You'll be heard and heard forever. Asante, madam. Where is the lady? Yes.
I'm right here. All protocols observed. Hi, cousins. My name is Damaris Ngare. I am in the Pacific chapter with Gikonyo, and mine is on mitigation. And while you have said about the people coming back to ensure that they are planning, mine is on you as a DCP leader. The mitigations that you're going to have, you and your team. Our plea is because we believe if two cannot work together, then they cannot agree. So we are here, we have agreed to work with you, we have agreed to support you. We want you because you have worked with this current regime. You know all the loopholes, you know everything that is not working. We need you to mitigate anything that will not make us win.
Yes.
You need to give us a promise that as you leave this United States of America, that the diaspora team in general is going to stay and assured that you will have all the processes. Kura zitaibiwa, elections za IBC team, they will be fair. Everything will be narrowed down to, because our eyes are on you. So we will give you the support, we will give you the love, we will give you everything for the one mission that we have, that is one term.
Thank you.
On demand that you give us what we need and deserve for us to see a great nation of Kenya rise up again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me assure you, huyu Kasongo mambo yake yote tunajua. Hakuna pahali atapitia. And even if he becomes the chairman of IBC, we'll still beat him. The margin will be so huge, I can tell you. Nobody can play around with it. But I agree with you. We'll document all the various loopholes, all the various challenges, and working together, we'll address them. But as I promised you, we'll work together. Senor, with those very many remarks, I want to thank all of you. We still have one more.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's easy. Okay, let's have order, right? Let's have order. You've spoken, please. If there is anything, as His Excellency, he just spotted one. So we will just have one and then that's all, please. And this is by the honor of His Excellency.
We have given you because you are in DCP colors.
Thank you.
Hi, cousins.
Hi, guys.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. I'm Evangelist Nyokabi, Director of Family Organization Format, that we empower women and youth in Kenya and here in America. We have in office in Europe, Spain. We are condemning the act that is done by our mkubwa, hata ninashindwa kumuita nini. Sisi wamama, sisi kama nimeona Kenya wamama wanalia na uchungu mwingi sana, na hawana mtu wa kuwatetea, sababu ukiinuka useme kitu ukiinuka useme kitu jioni. Kwa hivyo nimesimama kama wamama nikiomba His Excellency, ukienda Kenya, simama na watoto wetu. Vile wanasema watawapiga risasi miguu, wanamaliza kizazi chetu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kama wamama, maneno yote yamenenwa hapa, siwezi rudia. Mengi yamenenwa, nilikuwa nimesema nitanena hii, nikasikia imenenwa, umejibu maswali vizuri. But wamama wa Amerika, wacheni kuogopa. God ndiye aliwaleta hapa. Mungu mwenye aliwaleta hapa tawadumisha hapa. Kwa hivyo tutafinyiliwa kwa sababu tumeambiwa maneno ingine. Kwa hivyo ile ningeomba wa mama wa Kenya muwatetee, mtetee wa mama wa Kenya, kwa sababu wengi sana bure wanauriwa bure. Nao gens waomba mtulie, vile mkubwa wetu ametoa, mtulie, mngojee Mungu awatetee. Mungu ashakuja kuwatetea.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nyokavi. You have my assurance that we'll continue fighting for the young people, for the women. You remember when I was in office and Ruto said Gen Zs are criminals? I called a press conference in Mombasa. I told him off. You remember? Mimi siogopi. We'll continue studying with our women. We'll continue studying with our Gen Zs because it's what God wants us to do. Nafikiri nimesema asante. Mungetaka mama boys amsalimie, si ndio? Asante. Thank you very much.
Please, you may sit down. Good afternoon. Bwana asifiwe. Nipungie mkono, Bwana asifiwe. Thank you very much, the committee that has organized this. It is a very successful event where you can come and discuss. And when I look at what we are having here in Seattle, I think it is what should always happen. When His Excellency, the People's Deputy President, speaks about listening to the ground, he does not mean listening to the soil. What he means, he wants to hear the voice of the people. And the voice of the people is the voice of God, because people represent the omnipresence of God. And when people are heard, then you can be able to formulate good registration and laws that are able to govern them the way they want. Even God himself invites us to the place of coming and discussing. He wants to hear you. God can do all things and knows all things and does not need us. But in the Holy Book, he tells us, come, let us reason together. He can do all those things without consulting you. He says even before you say anything, he already knows what you want. But he has asked you, ask me. And I think that is where now the things went wrong. When we are not meeting, when we are not discussing, when people are intimidated to fear that you cannot be able to speak, when the church cannot be able to stand by the truth, when the church stands there and watches as children are being abducted, they are neutral because they do not want to offend somebody. When we sit there and see our children dying, men and women, families crying day and night, we see our children depressed, killing themselves, committing suicide. You go to the health system, it's not working. You go to education, it's not working. And we want to be silenced and to say that we are okay. And even if we were to live and live very long in such a situation, I think it will be the wrong way to live. And that's why everyone must stand up, because the country is ours. God created us to be able to live in a country that is peaceful, where people can discuss with one another, where people have health systems and structures that are working, where people have shelter, people are fed, where our children are not killed every day. And I think it is us to say how we need to be governed. When we went to the elections of 2022, we worked very hard. It was the first time I think the church was involved. And what we wanted is the church to sit on the decision-making tables where we could make a difference as a people. Because the Christians or the religious people, they don't go to heaven and come down in the morning. We walk on those roads. We are the ones who, we need that clean water. We need all these things. And therefore, sitting down and also being the compass and the conscience of the society, where we can say killing is wrong, murder is not allowed. When we can sit on those decision-making tables and South, we tell them the Bible says. And I think many of the people who are there, they are blaming us for having spoken concerning our president who is there today. But I can tell you, when I preach to you, because now I'm a preacher, and you get saved, I do not come to follow to see how you end with God. Your decisions can either make you backslide and you will receive a punishment from God. It is not for the preacher to come and make you holy. It is you to maintain the testimony that you have been given. It goes the same even for the presidents that we choose and elect all over the world. They are supposed to serve the people. And if they don't serve the people, then the people will speak against that. And I think it is a decision that every one of us makes that makes a difference. And therefore, you made a conscious decision yourselves to invite my husband to come here and be able to speak with you and reason with you and hear you what you are saying in the United States. And I believe that all of us, why we are here and in large numbers, is because we are concerned and we are patriotic about our nation. And we would like to see a change. And that is why our president must listen. He must have an ear that will listen and make sure that he's doing the right thing. There is no problem in him building a church at the State House. That would be fine. But if you are to put up a church in the State House and there is blood in your hands, where everyone is complaining about violation of human rights, where we are talking about murder of our children, where people have tears, men are crying. You saw the father of Oluoch, the only son, one son he had. He's dead, and we cannot resurrect him. And all we need is to speak to our children. Yes, they may have their own issues, and they will have, because even us, we are not better. I think it is time we speak to our children and the Gen Zs who are out there and let them feel that Kenya belongs to them. Let them feel that they are wanted there. Let them be able to be given the opportunity to be able to exploit the great potential that are in these children. And if you saw during that time, His Excellency, the People's Deputy President, he was very, very a great pillar to what I was doing, being able to fight the substance, the illicit brew and substance abuse. They came up and registered roads from the county, and I think that is what was bringing success. But after that, the registration was changed, and you need to speak up. We have children who are out there now with bills that they cannot be able to afford. And I think as Gen Zs, as the mothers and everyone, you must start to know how are you going to raise the money? Because they imagine that if, for instance, those children are put there and they continue to be put on terrorism cases, what will happen is that they will not be able to, they will be detained there for a long time. They may not be able to raise the 10 million they are being asked. And so our children are going to have issues. So we must start rethinking and thinking how can we be able to help and to change Kenya. May God bless you.
Thank you. Let's give a hand clap once again as we near our time to do something different. Carrier, please.
Okay. I want to request all the chapter of issues go next to that banner. And Mr. Chairman, I want to acknowledge your presence. Yeah, you can say hi to your people. This is our national chairman. As I request all the officials, all the chapter officials to go there, I'll give mic to my chairman to say hi.
Thank you, Chairman Kerry. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm so sorry. I had an issue with the plane. I had to stay at the airport, Logan Airport, for 17 hours. Then eventually they canceled the flight. I took Southwest. They canceled it. But I said, nothing going to stop. I'm here. I'm happy to see a good number there. And we're happy. And I'm pretty sure we're going to meet in the evening, in the dinner, and we have more conversation. I don't want to keep you more because you've been here since morning. We'll meet in the evening at the dinner. Thank you so much.
You can. So we are going to invite His Excellency to commission a satellite office, a CP office, and we are going to make announcement the other activities His Excellency is having this weekend.
Yeah.
jioni ya siku ya mchana wa leo tukisema wewe ni Bwana, umekuwa pamoja nasi, umeleta wageni wetu kutoka Kenya, umewatumikia neema ya safari. Naomba katika jina la Yesu, wakati Bwana nataka kuona hichi katika stage Bwana, wachunge walinde, neema yako iwatoshe, waondolee uchovu na hata tutakao kutenda mapito kwa sababu ya kusikia kitabu fungu. Tunatamka ya kwamba tunakuacha wewe pia kimbilio letu, ngao letu, na wewe ndiye msaada wetu. Kwa wote waliokuja siku mchana wa leo Bwana, tukipakabidhi mikononi mwako tukisema wewe ndiye Bwana na wewe ndiye Mungu wetu. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, in the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit, be with us now and forevermore. Amen. God bless you. There is to the church in San Francisco Faith Fellowship 5319, San Francisco, Avenue Southwest, with watch until 9:49 now. You can speak the Facebook. Your life in the news. God bless you.
Kama unaishi bali kuna Kwale, anza kuangalia kama kuna mili kwa hiyo Kwale. Lazima kuwe kuna mili katika hizo sehemu ambazo zilikuwako. And that is why it's important to say this.
ETV Africa News at this hour.
Munakumbuka ya kwamba kinara wa ODM, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, he called for a convention. I don't know what he was calling, but he called it a conclave this time. And you must admire him for the many vocabularies that he has. The conclave. Kongamano la watu atuwakae chini tuweze kuongea mambo ya Kenya. Today, I am aware of people who are sitting in different places, including if you go to Boulevard, wadu ambao wanapangwa ili waanze kuitisha the conclave. And I want to say that this is the call for a convention, a conference or a conclave is yet another con game. A con game similar to what we had at Nadico, that was conceived by Raila together with William Ruto. This time loud, then Nadico was to create the broad-based government. Round here, it is now to give life to the broad-based government. Ni kuipatia maisha. How can we finish the 2 years left? That is a question Raila and William are asking themselves. And the con game that they have come up with is now a conclave. I call upon Kenyans to reject anything that causes us to sit together, because if we had any intention of discussing the issues that Wakenya walikuwa nataka kuziongelea, would have done it at the Nadico. Remember, during the Nadico, we also talked about the same issues of cost of living, the economy of this country, governance issues, accountability, justice, and those things. And the scheme is bigger. You create chaos in the country and then make it look like it is only if we sit together that we can get the country going forward. And I say, why am I saying we create chaos? Look at what happened on the eve of 25th of June this year. On 25th of June this year, and what happened on Sabasaba and also on the eve of Sabasaba. One thing that is coming out clear kutoka kwa yale maandamano yalikuwako ni kwamba kila Mkenya ambaye alishuhudia uharibifu wa mali anasema ya kwamba wale ambao walikuwa wanaharibu mali sehemu yao hawajui. They were all strangers. They are not known to the locals. Even the ordinary ile vijana wetu wale wanakuwa pale kwa ile mung'etho, wanasema hawajui. And that is why when I say this was a state-sponsored militia, what we now gather is that wote walikuwa naitwa Jimo. The code name usiku wa operation was Jimo, Jimo, Jimo. That was the word that was going through. Meaning that they had a chain of command, and this was a state-sponsored terror on the people. Ile tumeona kwa simu saa hii ni wakichoma supermarket Maguna, Meru. The police officers are actively taking part. You can see them throwing stones kufuja kioo ili moto igie ndani ya supermarket. If you look at the burning that was done at Olkalao on the 25th of June, the guys were literally breaking the vehicles ili waweke moto wachome, na mwenye alikuwa anapiga video kutoka pahali fulani juu anasema hawa hatuwajui, these are strangers to us. What are we now hearing today? And this is upon the state, those in the institutions to confirm. We are now hearing that these are actually prisoners, wafungwa, mafungwa, wale ambao wamefungwa ndio wanatumiwa na serikali kuwaletea Wakenya shida. If that is true, then Ruto has lost it completely. If it is true that the damage, the destruction to property that we witnessed on the 25th, before and after, and what we are witnessing, including last evening, maybe in some places, it was done by people who had left the prisons across the country, then the state has a lot to answer. In fact, they need to even answer to that fear alone, ya kwamba tulikuwa tunapigwa na maabusu. Na kuna sababu ya kufikiria kwamba hayo mambo ni ya ukweli. Ni kwa nini the night before yesterday, Ruiru was attacked? A day or 2, 3 days almost after the protest, after Sabasaba. Na watu wanaambiwa tokeni town, tokeni town, tokeni town. Alafu in the night munafamiwa. I think we need to ask ourselves also, na wewe kama unaishi pahali kuna Kware, kama ile ya Kware, ile tuliona pale wakati ya Azimio, kama unaishi pahali kuna Kware, anza kuangalia kama kuna mili kwa hiyo Kware. Lazima kuwe kuna mili katika hizo sehemu ambazo zilikuwako. And that is why it's important to say this. Up to where we are, we have lost over 167 bodies. Kuanzia Azimio, kuja Gen Z, and now Sabasaba. The number that we are being given, which I believe is higher myself, 167 bodies that have been lost. Today, we are burying Boniface Karaoke kule Murang'a. And I was going to attend until I got this information. More people are going to die if again we in the opposition agree to be defined by anger and not the issues that took the Gen Z out to the streets. May I repeat this again? Makasiriko yale unaona na Ruto, na makasiriko ninaona na Gachagua. Na ni kweli Gachagua wako na sababu ya kukasirika kwa sababu alifukuzwa vibaya. Lakini hayo makasiriko yakiwa ndio itatusaidia sisi watu wa opposition kujimudu, tutasahau ni kwa nini Gen Z walitokezea on the 25th of June. Gen Z defined what we as opposition should bring us together. And that was the cost of living. It was the issue of the economy. It was the issue of justice. It was the issue of accountability. It was the issue of transparency. Of course, now the extrajudicial killing and the need to ensure that those families are compensated is back on the table, because the killings happened when we said that the cost of living was bad. The destruction of property, also we have it. So I am saying, I know, unakasirika sana, mtu anakasirika ukikosewa na mwingine. But ukiona ile makasiriko ya William mpaka anasema ngoga piga mtu risasi mguu. By the way, if he has forgotten, Lex Masai died because he was shot on the leg. Kwa hivyo hata mguu utaua. And I don't know whether it is true that somebody has opened kampuni ama mtu amepatiwa tenda ya wheelchairs. Sasa mbebe miguu. Mara ilikuwa Vigo, sasa ni miguu. Hii Kenya tuko na shida. Finally, I want to repeat this for us in the opposition. Gen Z was never about power sharing. So we should not allow the issue of power sharing to derail us. Sorry. We should not allow the issue of power sharing to derail us. Sorry. Just bring it, I'll help you.
Rigathi Gachagua.
5. During the 35th anniversary of Sabasaba, Kenyans from all walks of life led by Gen Zs, unarmed and peaceful, went to the streets. This is not the first demonstration that has happened in Kenya this year where lives have been lost and property destroyed. Unbeknown to these peaceful demonstrators, the tired regime of Ruto had a well-organized state-sponsored militia in cohort with the police and other state security agencies to maim, kill and destroy property and blame it on the Kikuyu community and specific leaders who are perceived unfriendly to this killer regime. This targeted profiling of the Kikuyu community and destruction of their specific business is an economic sabotage not new to the narrative of William Ruto. On the 30th day, these state-sponsored militia, under instructions and guidance from the police, were dropped in different places in the country, and mostly in the Mount Kenya region and other regions not perceived friendly to the government. They were strategically dropped past midnight, and then roadblocks were placed by the police while others was dropped early in the morning. The militia were procured by Ruto. Governors and MPs allied to him. These regions include Nairobi, Kiambu, Kajiado, Kisii, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kiambu, Kirinyaga, Meru, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Kitengela, Ongata-Rongai, Machakos, Embu, and in Wote. They had clear instructions to loot and destroy specific properties under police supervision. A killer squad of 101 that works under the Director General of the National Intelligence Service, Nuruddin Haji, was armed with assault rifles and drove in a convoy of unmarked Subarus, shooting and killing innocent protesters aimlessly in the streets and estates. This squad in Subarus, hooded and masked against court orders, are disguising themselves as DCI's officers, yet we know they are not. In fact, I would like to clarify that the National Intelligence Service has procured Subarus to give an impression that this killer gang is from the DCI. The truth of the matter is that this has nothing to do with the DCI. This is the National Intelligence Service. And this squad of 101 people was formed when I was still in government. Officers were recruited from the Administration Police Unit for special training by NIS on abductions, killings, and cover-up. And this is a squad that is killing the people of Kenya. The killings and the business destruction pattern point to William Ruto's ethnic profiling narrative, which is a master with no rival. With a close coordination of PS Interior Raymond Omolo, this narrative was boosted online by state bloggers to spin the narrative. The Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen's public to shoot to kill order, coupled with assurances to police officers that the government will not cooperate with the investigators in police conduct, has emboldened security forces. Police officers are now on record threatening citizens who are in their homes, boasting of their license to kill, acting with a confidence that can only come from the highest echelons of power. Mr. Murkomen's admission that these are not just instructions from him but orders from above removes any ambiguity about where responsibility lies. It will be recalled that in the run-up to the 2007 general election and its aftermath, the narrative of 41 against 1 was a masterpiece of William Ruto. The target was profiling Kikuyus against the rest of the country. To a large extent, he succeeded, and every Kenyan knows what happened, and it is also fresh in his mind of the ICC ordeal still hanging on the neck of William Ruto today. We remind William Ruto that his ICC cases are not yet over. They have been paused after witnesses disappeared, and what he is pretending over are crimes under the Rome Statute. It is clear history is repeating itself, and the architect William Ruto is back on the deck. He is hell-bent to finish his unfinished business with the people of Mount Kenya, destroy their businesses and make them black sheep of Kenya. Despite this horrible experience, the people of Mount Kenya voted William Ruto to a man in 2022 general elections against the advice of President Uhuru Kenyatta, whom Mr. Ruto had branded as a drunkard and a useless leader. Today, the people of Kenya, and especially the Mount Kenya region, feel sorry that they did not heed to the advice of Uhuru Kenyatta. These state-sponsored militia were key in touching of various parts of the country with ease of police assistance to prefer terrorism charges on specific people from the Mount Kenya region. So far, about 50 young people are in courts in trumped-up charges of terrorism in scenarios of state-managed crimes by the state. Again, this is a clear onslaught on the Kikuyu nation. A case in point, when a police station in Mawego in Homa Bay County was torched, the suspects for that particular crime have been charged with arson. But when a police station is alleged to have been torched in Kiambu, suspects from the Kikuyu nation are charged with terrorism charges. This is serious ethnic profiling. Last night, in Juja and Kirinyaga, these state-sponsored militia invaded various businesses. Luckily, in Kirinyaga, after Wananchi went to Sagada police station and they refused to act, saying they had orders from above not to interfere, the people organized themselves and repulsed the militia. Mr. Ruto's ethnic profiling has led to the destruction of the foreign properties belonging to the people of Mount Kenya. Maguna supermarkets in Meru, Kahawa West and Muranga. Nice supermarkets, hotel and petrol station, and nice city in Mwea in Kirinyaga. County supermarkets in Kabati and Kirinyaga. Power Star supermarkets, Quickmart supermarkets in Eastern Bypass, Shell and Totomin markets in Roido, Chill Post Hotel in Gong, Boju Shop in Keserian, Homegrown Supermarket among others, and the Family Bank in Kahawa and Roiro. Notably, in Meru, these state-sponsored militia tried to attack Meru Dairy Processing Plant and were repulsed by workers. In Nyeri, they further tried to attack Wakulima Dairy in Mukurweni, and the attack failed. We urge our businesses to heighten security surveillance on their business premises and production lines, especially the KTDA, processing factories, among others. We take note that in Meru, on Sunday, the 6th of July, at an event attended by CS Kipchumba Murkomen, the MP for Bori, Mugambi Redekire, indicated that a supermarket would be attacked the following day. As sure as December 25 is Christmas, and true to his word, Maguna supermarket was torched by the state-sponsored militia, which the MP was private to. Why hasn't Mugambi Redekire been arrested? How did he know that a supermarket would be attacked? This is selective justice. The evidence that these militias are state-sponsored is plain for all to see. Videos circulating widely show police officers not merely failing to intervene, but actively transporting armed groups who proceed to unleash destruction with apparent impunity. Uniformed officers have been seen standing guard as these groups rampage. They are in action and a stark contrast to strong statements being made by government. In Nyeri, journalists were attacked by these militias in the presence of the police. It is well documented. This is a clear indicator that Ruto is working with governors and MPs allied to him to destroy businesses owned by the Kikuyu, the Meru, and the Embu, and blame it on people who don't support his administration. This is a tactic that was used by the colonialists with the collaborators who searched earth policy and touched buildings and businesses and blamed it on the Mau Mau. This divide and rule tactic will not work, Mr. Ruto. We know that in Meru, they want to use this mayhem to blame Mithika Linturi. In Embu, they have already blamed Mkonji Gitonga. In Ketengela, Iron Gong, they want to target Senator Seki and MP Onesmus Ngogoyo. In Nyeri, they are trying to haunt Honorable Kagusha. And in Kirinyaga, they are targeting Senator Murango. We want to remind President Ruto that it is not the Kikuyus who want him out of office. It is the entire people of Kenya. Kenyans are suffering equally across the country. That is why Kenyans have said, if you, Mr. William Ruto, believe that it is the Kikuyus who want you out, then all Kenyans are Kikuyus. I want to thank the people of Kenya for standing out against this tribal profiling of the Kikuyu. The people of Kenya yesterday did wonderful by saying that the Kikuyus should not be profiled. This morning, I've seen Ruto quivering and wailing in uncontrollable anger. Mr. Ruto, excessive anger is not a solution. I want, with a lot of humility, to advise you to stop being angry. That will not help. You need to know what you need to do because you have not been listening to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya are more angry than you are. They are angry because you have overtaxed them. There is wanton corruption. There is abductions and extrajudicial killings. There is ethnic profiling and other ills that bedevil your administration. If you want to be calm, please abolish the housing levy and give dignity to the payslip. I have heard you saying that you cannot give jobs to the young people. Please restore the dignity of the payslip. Restore the capacity of the middle class. The middle class will give jobs to these young people. Stop killing and profiling the young people. Listen to them. Stop abductions and extrajudicial killings. Abolish, disband the killer squad of 101 officers at Nordin Haji. Give hustlers the jobs that you promised them. Mr. William Ruto, you are the one who promised. You cannot cry today that you have no solution, saying that other presidents have not been able to do it. You are the one who promised these young people. Stop police brutality. Stop abductions and illegal detentions. Get the hustlers from the bottom of the economic pyramid as you promised. Yes, Mr. President, we agree there were other presidents before you, as you have rightly stated, and true, they never went through what you are experiencing today. May it please you to know that the reason why Kenyans really had problems with them, Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta were guided by the Constitution and the rule of law. They did not capture our constitutional institutions to work for them, instead of working for Kenyans. They never killed children. They never attempted to build churches in State House. They never organized militias to destroy people's property and kill them. That is why you have a problem. And we also want to remind you that Mwai Kibaki had a difficult time from you, William Ruto. Videos are everywhere. You cannot say that Mwai Kibaki did not face resistance. It's on record that you gave hell to President Kenyatta for 5 years. So it is hypocritical for you to allege that Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta had a very easy time. Most of the problems Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta had came from yourself, and it's on record. We want to advise you that the one-term movement is not getting you out of power outside the Constitution. Mr. President, nobody wants to throw you. Nobody wants to overthrow your government. Nobody wants you out of power through unconstitutional means. Mr. President, I and the people we work with are on record. We want to remove you from State House through the ballot in 2027. This narrative you are creating that there is an attempt to overthrow your government is for you to have the opportunity to use the Terrorism Act to profile communities and to persecute leaders who are opposed to your administration. Please relax. We want you to serve your one term. Nobody wants you out of government, and constitutionally, nobody has any plan to overthrow your administration, Mr. President. We want to face you on the ballot in August 2027. So just relax and stop crying wolf that anybody wants you out of office unconstitutionally. There is no leader here who is planning a coup, and none has the capacity, and nobody is interested. The leaders in this country, and indeed 95% of the Kenyan population, want to humiliate you at the ballot. They will relish that moment. None of them would want you to go out through any other method, unless, of course, you decided to resign on your own volition. So please stop creating this narrative. This narrative is to enable you to use anti-terrorism law to persecute leaders and to persecute the Kikuyu community. If you speak out online, Mr. President, you want to use the Terrorism Act to harass people. If you dare challenge your administration, you want to use the Terrorism Act to deal with people who are opposed to your administration. My fellow Kenyans, let us not be deceived. William Ruto has stripped away even the pretense of democracy. What we are witnessing is not the rule of law, but the rule of fear. This is not the behavior of a government that serves its people. This is the machinery of outright dictatorship. Finally, I want to announce to the people of Kenya that tonight I will be traveling to the United States of America to talk to the Kenyans in diaspora and the international community about the state of the nation. I would have wanted to stay in the country at this very difficult time when our people are under siege, but I have engagements that I'm not able to postpone. I have been threatened by people close to William Ruto, who called some of my people today, and they will want to stop me from leaving the country. I have no problem. If you want to come and arrest me at the airport, as you are threatening us, you can go ahead. I don't have a problem. You cannot sell fear to us. You know, even if you sold us fear, we cannot buy. You know, and therefore, as I'm out of the country, unless I'm stopped from going, and if I'm stopped from going, I'm still okay. I'll be here because this is my country. We have made sufficient arrangements with other leaders in the united opposition to create a pool of lawyers to come in through for our young people who are being persecuted on trumped-up charges of terrorism. And I want to explain. I have heard the president saying that people have attacked police stations and the law courts. It was all stage managed by the MP for Kikuyu. How do you explain that people can walk into a police station and they are not armed and take over the police station from armed police officers? How do you go to the courts that are guarded by armed police officers and touch them? All these attacks of vital installations were stage managed by William Ruto through Kimani Ichung'wa to create the opportunity to prefer charges against people using the Anti-Terrorism Act. That is the reality. So nobody has attacked any police station. They were all stage managed by government. And what is happening is history is repeating itself. This is exactly what Moi did in the 80s against the Kikuyu community. After the abortive 1982 coup, he used sedition laws and the clandestine Kenya movement to profile the community and hold people into court, and they'll be taken by Bernard Chunga after 5 p.m. This is history repeating itself. I want to ask our people to be calm, to be cautious, and to be strong. I want to appeal to our young people, the Gen Zs. Looking at the scenario of what is happening and what William Ruto has planned, I want to ask my children, my sons and daughters, to consider applying the next onslaught against President William Ruto by getting IDs and registering as voters so that they can deal with William Ruto on the ballot. Because I fear for them. Anytime they go out to the streets, they are killed like chicken. I would like to preserve to us these children. We would like to live with them. We would like to see them grow. And when we look at the desperation of William Ruto and the brutal force he is using against these children and the use of state militias to attack them, I would like to plead with them to consider to join us, we in the opposition, by registering as voters. And in 2027, we'll be able to get rid of President William Ruto. William Ruto, finally, let me ask you a question. The Kikuyu nation, the Mount Kenya people, you call tribalists every day. These people you are waging war against, their businesses, are the same people who voted for you, even after what you did to them in 2007. They forgave you and considered you as a person they can elect as president. You have turned against the community. You are trying to mobilize other Kenyans to profile them and to fight them, but they have refused. These same people from Mount Kenya have the capacity to support somebody else. It must not be you. And they proved that they are not tribal by voting for you when you are Kalenjin. They can vote for a Kamba. They can vote for a Kisii. They can vote for a Luya. They can vote for a Maasai. That sense of entitlement that you are having to the Mount Kenya vote is misplaced. They voted for you, yes. You betrayed them. You turned against them. They don't have to vote for you again. Please stop persecuting them into submission. They will not submit to your brutality, to your vicious attack against them and their leaders. That I want to tell you for free today. I have listened to you talking with a lot of anger, calling them tribalists. They are not. How can they be tribalists when they voted for you and you are not one of them? But you don't have a sense of entitlement that they must vote for you. You know what you have done to them and why they have reacted the way they have. And I want to assure you, you cannot scare them into submission. Even if you jail them, they will not submit. These are seasoned descendants of the freedom fighters, and they cannot be intimidated. So let me encourage my leaders here as I go away to remain strong, to remain focused, and to speak for the people of Kenya. I am I have a lot of gratitude to the Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa, who have been in court the whole of yesterday and today, standing strong and defending our young people who have been framed and charged with treason. For those two leaders, I want to give them the gratitude of my community and our leadership. They have come through for a community when it's under siege, and we are indeed very, very grateful. I want to ask our leaders here to be vigilant and to continue speaking out to the people of Kenya. Should the situation get out of hand and I need to cut my trip short and come back to join the other leaders in defending our people and speaking for them, I will gladly do so. Thank you very much.
Good. That's comprehensive.
I don't think iko maswali hata kidogo. Labda ile wapi ya Kameme iko Nairobi.
Naam, huyo ni Rigathi Gachagua aliyewahi kuwa naibu wa rais akizungumza na waandishi wa habari kutoka makao makuu ya chama chake cha DCP hapa mjini Nairobi. Mtazamaji studioni, naarifiwa kwamba turudi tena kwa Rigathi Gachagua tusikilize anazungumza tena maneno ya ziada na waandishi wa habari.